Assalamualaikum, good afternoon everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Aldha Dwiputri. My student number is B1024181012. I'm a student University of Tanjungpura in this semester Performance Management course. My lecturer is Sir Adi Mursalin. On this good opportunity, I want to answer the middle round HRM quiz. I want to answer the question in part A. Seven times, because in addition to compulsory performance management course, these courses are also useful for the future. I have never missed a performance management class. The book used is book on performance management, putting research into action by James W. Smither and Manuel London. The book discusses an expanded view of performance management, aligning performance management with organizational strategy, values, and goals, practical application of goal-setting theory to performance management, coaching and performance management, how can organizers get the greatest value, the role of on-the-job and informal development in performance management, managing team performance in complex setting, research-based best practices. CEO Performance Management in multinational companies, managing contextual performance, using performance management as a learning tool, diagnosing, understanding, and dealing with counterproductive work behavior, force ranking pros, cons, and practices, technology and performance management, what role does technology play in performance management, authentic performance, the valuation of behavior as a negotiated business outcome, assessing performance management programs and policies, performance management of the future, best practices in performance management. 17 chapters. First, force rankings, pros, cons, and practices. That chapter discusses ultimately for any given enterprise, decision about whether or how to use force ranking will likely come down to on-off cultural properties and or commitment to change. The force ranking debate exemplifies how the practice of performance management challenges us to balance organizational performance requirement with concern for the personal dignity and development. Even as they pertain to force ranking, these two issues need to not be at odds, but maintaining that balance certainly requires for thorough and hard work. The second is assessing performance management programs and policies. This chapter discusses first, manager employees are held accountable for their aspect of the implementation process. Second is the assessment points are seen as a critical part of building an organization with a learning and development culture. The third is role clarity is taken very seriously is in order to align each individual's role and performance expectation with the organizational and team's mission, values, and strategy. The last is performance negotiation and following performance. That chapter discusses a performance negotiation is conducted continuously throughout performance evaluation. Performance evaluation is also conducted continuously throughout the employee's performance in the company. In my opinion, I'm quite active in the performance management class. I have asked questions in several presentations and answered the questions given. 17 students who have made presentation. What I get is knowledge about performance management, which is very important and useful for the future. I have answered all the questions in part A, and now I want to answer the part B. First is from Armstrong. Performance means both behaviors and result. Behaviors emanate from the performance and transform performance from abstraction to action, not just the instrument for result. Behavior are also outcomes in their own right, the product of mental psychical effort applied to task and can be judged apart from result. Second is Bram-Brecht. Performance management is a process for establishing a shared understanding understanding about what is to be achieved and how it is to be achieved, an approach to managing people which increases the probability of achieving job-related success. The third is QUIZE and Hartley. Performance and its performance have become all pervasive in all aspects of modern life. We have all become susceptible to falling under the influence of performance in our ways of looking at things and people, as well as our ways of behaving. The notion of performance have become of central importance for our perception of our activities, our self-perception and self-worth, and of our understanding of the world. Fourth is MC Bain. Performance management systems are increasingly seen as the way to manage employees' performance rather than relying on appraisal alone. Such systems offer advantage of being tied closely into the objective of the organization, and therefore the resulting performance is more likely to meet organizational needs. And the last is Torrington and Hall. Performance is a multidimensional construct, the measurement of which varies depending on a variety of factors. It is important to determine whether the measurement objective is to assess performance outcome or behaviors. It is very important because performance management is useful. It matches organizational goals with team and individual goals, improve performance, motivates workers, increase commitment, support core values, improving training and development process, increasing the skill base, seeks continuous improvement and development, cultivates the basis of career planning, help keep skilled workers from moving, support total quality and customer service initiative, and support cultural change programs. First is aligning employee activities with the company's mission and goals. Employees must understand if their goals contribute to the achievement of the company as a whole. The second is develops a specific job performance outcome. What good or service does my job produce? How does my job affect the company? How should I interact with client, colleagues, and supervisor? What procedures does my job require? And the third is creating measurable performance-based expectation. Employees must provide input on how success is measured. Expectations include the result of goods and service that employees produce, action that process employees use to make product or perform service, and that behaviors, attitude, and values an employee exhibits in the workplace. In general, the performance management cycle time includes three main stages, namely, first is planning or planning stage, namely the preparation of performance target or setting expectation along with the expected competencies which will be implemented at the beginning of the year. At this stage, the beginning of the fiscal year, there will be discussion process between workers and their superiors. Second is performing stage or implementation, namely the implementation of monitoring, ongoing tracking, and feedback which is carried out throughout the current year. At this stage, there will be a mid-year review process in the hope that there will be mid-cycle discussion in the middle of the fiscal year. And the last is the reviewing or assessment stage, namely the implementation of the review or reviewing progress which is carried out at the end of the year. As at this stage, there will be discussion and review of the overall performance during one fiscal year. The features of goal setting theory are, first one is specific. First, the goals need to be specific rather than saying I want to be a better person. Try a goal such as a volunteer 2 hours per week. And the second is measurable. The goal must be measured at the end of the time period. You should be able to say, yes, I met the goal. For example, increase my sales. Isn't it measurable? Saying something such as I will increase my sales by 10% over the next 2 years is very specific and measurable. And the third is attainable. The goal should be something we can achieve. We must either already have or be able to develop the attitudes, skill, and abilities in order to achieve the goals. This doesn't mean you need this skill right now, but it does mean over time you should be able to develop them. Fourth is realistic. The goal that is set must be something you are willing and able to work toward. The goal cannot be someone else's goal. For example, earning a business degree because your parents want you to may not be compelling enough to follow through with the goal. The goal should be realistic in terms of your abilities and willingness to work toward the goals. And the last is time-oriented. There should always be a time frame attached to a specific goal. Most individuals will have long-term and short-term goals. First is set team goals. Setting the goal of forming a work team will help your team always be on the right track to make effort to achieve success. Second is leadership. The leader here is obligated to ensure the team member contribute by applying the skill they have in accordance with their respective workloads. And the third is work design. Make a work plans of vision that must be done by each member of the work team to achieve the team vision. And the fourth is build relationship with the team members. To build the relationship, you first have to know their characteristic, what are the skills, weakness, and what make them motivate. And the last is reward that the team's hard work, ideas, and creativity that have been put into the work. Information technology support performance management with the following process. Set financial and non-financial target for each team activity along the strategic map activity chain drawn from team activities to the company's overall strategic goals, and inform all employees about their goals. And use IT support tools such as scorecard software and digital instrument board to continuously view, monitor, and assess the performance of individual teams and employees. And the last is take corrective action on an ongoing basis. Performance management process according to Wibowo includes a process of implementing performance and how performance is carried out. Performance management begins with planning that expected goals and arranging all the resources and activities needed to achieve the goals. Performance management includes continuous performance communication, performance planning, and performance evaluations. Because alignment between the desire of the company in achieving its effectiveness and efficiency with the desire of individual employees in relation to their personal welfare is important. One of the efforts that can be made to improve integrated performance. Well, my friends, I want to answer the question in part C that related to the video. Yes, I have watched the video till the end. The video is about continuous performance management. The content of this video is continuous performance management is a modern human-centered approach to promoting, evaluating, and improving employee performance. It enables your organization to create a trusted environment in which employees feel empowered to take control of their own development. In a culture of true continuous performance management, employees do support of each other with a wide range of real-time performance feedbacks, celebratory, instructive, and constructive. The lesson that I get from the video is continuous performance management is about the growth and development. It's about creating a culture where people are comfortable giving feedback up, down, and across an organization. And it's about helping employees and organizations realize their full promise and potential. The video is about performance management for a 21st century organization. The speaker of this video is Eddie Goldberg, is the founder of E.L. Goldberg and Associates. She explains about 6 factors impacting organizations today that indicate how organizations have changed over the past decade and why our traditional process no longer serves very well. organization needs constantly adapting, reprioritize what types of things that they're working on, so the goals here are often shifting and changing based on changing business needs. More and more today people are working on teams. In fact, many organizations have moved to metric work structure, making collaboration across boundaries more important than ever before.